This is my world. I haven't made a new one since 2013. I've been playing on this world. Isn't it nice when you have friends to sleep for you? I've decided to try giving making VTube videos about this world a try. I've thought about it for going on 5 years, probably longer, but never really knew how to give it a go. But now I'm going to give it a try. So thank you for tuning in, and hopefully this is entertaining, and the audio isn't too terrible, and the editing isn't too terrible, but it's going to be bad. But thank you, and let's get into this. There's a lot of places in this world that are just outdated, old, or don't reflect how I like to build anymore. And instead of tearing these builds down, I just choose to move away, move out away from these places. And sometimes I come back to them and add new things or change how things are, put together, or just the feel of a build, or maybe even the function. But I don't generally like to destroy builds completely unless they're just terrible or make way for something new. So let's go around and see some examples of like the older builds, and then we can go over to the new worlds or new areas of the world where everything is a little nicer, a little less trashy, and more modern that reflects my skill level. And this is one of those areas. This is one of these old builds. This is built maybe around 2013. I originally made this world in a snapshot during the update that changed the world. They just added the dark oak biomes to the game, and in a snapshot, I made this world, and I actually messed up and I reverted the snapshot. So a few weeks in, I reverted the snapshot, and so all the dark oak trees were just deleted from the game. Like my house was gone, the whole woods was gone. It was really eerie. So I eventually moved underground because I made up a little story about how the whole world, some sort of supernatural being just came and took all the dark oak trees. But obviously, that wasn't true. This is where the first build ever in the world was. Not this, but just a little house that sat here. I eventually ripped it down because it was just a black, or it was just an oak box under on the surface of the world, and it just looked ugly and old, and I didn't want it to sit around anymore. There was no purpose for it to sit there anymore. I'm looking around for an entrance to it. I believe we can get down into the basement of it, where everything was sort of like a just some like secret bunker, so to speak. I think the way we get in is through this wall. So we just fix that up and repair it. It should be... No, maybe not this one. Might be this side of it. Oh. Well, now we're in for it. Maybe, yes! Here we go. Down here is where everything began. Oh. Never mind. We didn't even need to do all that. Not sure what that does. Children. Evil children. Evil children is gonna kill me. Garbage. I did strip mining down here, but this is where most of the time was spent, down in this crypt. Just abandoned long ago. and it sort of just sits here in the world for new players to explore and find. You can see that's where the dark oak trees used to be, but now there's just a glitched out torch just floating in the air. And I like to say that's where everything went through that portal, but I don't know, it should just sit there from now on and look ominous. The builds down here are just ugly, horrendous, but we didn't really have much to build with before the update that changed the world. That's when they added the mesas, the dark oaks, changed how just all the world generation was done. And in my opinion, that laid the groundwork for what we have today. Let's get out of here and let's go see another old part of the world. Alright, so this castle here is where most of the storage was kept for the world, or the old build styles that I would do around here. This started out as just like a simple castle, but it just kept growing and growing, and now it just sort of sits here. I don't want to rip it down. I don't think it needs to be ripped down. It just doesn't reflect how I want to build or like design philosophies that I use in like modern building. We can get a better view of everything if we go up here. The Elytra Tower. After they added the Elytra, I built this tower on top of a chunk error. It was just a flat stone chunk border. I'm not sure how it happened. Probably when my laptop died on me and I ported it over, stealed the hard drive out of it, and moved everything over to this world. Or this PC. Maybe it wasn't this PC, it was probably another laptop. But from up here, you could see pretty much, well, not everything, but as far as the eye can see. My friend PJ put me on to this Distant Horizon mod, and now I just don't want to go back. Like, I love seeing everything from this far. This render distance is insane, and it doesn't even slow down the game. Before, you could barely see to those mountains I made with World Edit, but now you can see all the way to the castles and the city, the gigantic mob farm that I used World Edit to steal from somebody's world. I forget who it was, but it used slimes and minecarts to push mobs down a staircase into the center. And I thought the design was just really unique and just an amazing build. I don't think I ever actually used it, because it just kept breaking. But nonetheless, it's a cool build. Let's get back down without dying and explore around just a bit more of this older keep before we move on to somewhere that I'm actually building and expanding out. I'm gonna be really mad if I don't make this jump. Make the jump! Oh, we're good. We're good. Oh, in real life, we'd be a bloody stain on the water. This tower used to be where I farmed basically every material that I thought I would need. Oh, my friend Tim. All the trees and crops, everything was sort of centered in this tower. Need that. But it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. It's pretty ugly. As we can all see, we have just room of windows, glass, followed up by gray brick and red brick, and back to capped off by this ancient horrible villager breeder. I never understood how these worked back then. I couldn't comprehend it. I just knew to copy a video that more doors and villagers meant more iron golems. I don't think this ever worked. Like, once. Like, ever. And this certainly didn't do anything. Now it's all flooded. It's supposed to fall down there and die. But I don't think I seen a single iron golem fall out of this. That might have been... Come on, come on, come on, let me go, be free! That might have been the linchpin that made me expand out from this little cobblestone box in the middle of nowhere. The very, very simple, that's the nice word to put, village. It's abandoned. Because I wouldn't want to live there, and I don't want to make any villagers live there either. Okay, so we're back in the spruce forest. I planted these trees before the podzol would spawn below them, and I'm glad I did, because this would be a pain to rip out all the podzol if I did it today. Recently, me and my friend Jared went through and bone mealed all the grass here just to get this really thick, take that out, dark and like overgrown forest feel to it. I love the way this turned out. The leaves block out most of the light, but just enough of it can crack through and let something like these flower patch grow. And it's so dense. You can't really see anything in here unless you can get on top of it. Like this chicken's, if we just back away just enough, it's gone. And it gives a really good effect. Oh, more chickens. And a cow. It just gives this nice wandering through a field effect. Not a field, I guess like an overgrown forest. Which is what it's supposed to be, and I'm glad this turned out the way it did. So I went and got my horse, because we're going to need it for the almost 1,500 block journey to Acadia, my current base, and probably the biggest village I've ever made, or will ever make, in this world. There's a few other locations to go to, my friend Isaac's base, my friend PJ's base, where he needs to come and write out the name of his base. But let's hurry up and get across to Acadia. All right, we're here. I'm going to speed that up so you guys don't have to watch me ride across a bridge for going on 3 or 4 minutes. But this is Acadia. I was really tired of building the same old things in the, I guess we could call it like the old world, but I was tired of working with the same color palettes, the same everything. So I just wanted to get away from it, get across the world, and I came to a little village over here. You see some of the houses originally from that village, but I wanted to try building with colors and did more emphasis on the NPCs rather than the builds. And I think it came out pretty well. Some of these are very simple. I wouldn't probably build these again. These were just too basic. I like these double-sided or double-story houses a lot more. But the colors is what I like the most. Seeing all the different colors of the roofs just make the whole area feel more alive. And like that, these different areas could be different communities. Like that the people up on top of this hill, all their roofs are green, so maybe they act a little different. Throw egg than the people who live down here with the yellow roofs. Like these are city blocks that are different than each other. And we got over here houses made out of sandstone. I built this little bridge up here to try and make multi-story houses, 3 or 4 stories, and I'm not sure if I'll keep expanding it or not, but I do like the way it looks. I never finished it, but maybe we could put like a balcony here to look out over the river that's currently frozen over. I don't understand why a savanna biome generated right next to a taiga and cold ocean, but is what it is. There's no point complaining about it. But I will complain about getting ripped apart by zombies and having them rip apart my lovely residents here. Saying that very sarcastically. 9 times out of 10, they try to walk off these trapdoors and die, but is what it is. We don't have safety, safety code enforcement here. That might be a good thing. It might be a bad thing depending on who you are. I need to go around and name these city streets more. I went online and looked up. Turns out there are tons of different ways to just say road. It could be boulevard, avenue. I'm drawing a blank here, but there are more. But I want to just name these roads to make the place feel more alive, like people actually live here. Name these little one-off communities that are all part of a bigger place. And over here is the current massive project. This is going to take... I don't even want to think about how long this is going to take. But this is downtown Acadia. Let's put the horse in the horse hole. Wow, he's not in it. That's fine. This is downtown Acadia. Sorry about that. I want to do a sort of maybe late 1800s feel. New York City is the inspiration for this. I'm going to try and put some pictures of what I mean on the screen to help get a feel across from what I mean. I don't want this place to feel dirty or too overcrowded. I want to keep the same colorful feel of the rest of this village while also making it more urban. And I think we've started off good with this little end cap corner store. I didn't fill in the second and third story, but down here, I'm thinking this could be like a store. Maybe I'll get rid of the wool in the windows and make it glass. But I feel like this would be a really cool little small community grocery store. I think a few of these should work. Maybe one down there and one down there. But that's going to be way in the future. Hopefully the audio and editing of this video wasn't too terrible. I've never edited a video or recorded audio or anything like this before. So hopefully it wasn't too bad. And I hope that if you're watching, you tune into the next one. We'll try to get it out eventually. I want to try and get at least a video out a week. They're fine. But hopefully I can keep doing this, and maybe next time I'll be on with all of my friends, and it won't just be me talking to a mic. So thank you for watching, and see you later. Funny. You think you're funny. You think you're funny with this. You don't need help. You get these chests sorted. Get back to work. Leaving these furnaces. That's what I think about your help sign.